JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 18th of May 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So you feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the German DAX, and as you can see, we have created a new all-time high. But as always, it is the case, and this is what I've mentioned before, that it seems to be a pattern that whenever we create a new all-time high, the same day the daily candle ends up kind of drifting back below the previous all-time high. And this is again exactly what we're seeing right now. I mean, I've talked about such scenarios when I was covering, if you remember, I was covering euro against the Turkish lira. And the same story, it seems to be happening here as well in indices. So let's keep an eye on this one, of course, because let's see how today's day is going to end. But at the moment, it seems to be the situation. And if so, if that proves to be correct, then well, going into tomorrow or further, we might see a bit of a slide, a further slide. So again, but this is where the tricky point comes in, because although it has proven itself to be kind of correct, but the slide could be a temporary one, for example, and the slide could be a short one. For example, here we could see maybe a drift lower, but if it holds, if it gets held somewhere near this 21-day EMA, another rebound here could be possible. So that's why for now I would say I'm gonna take this arrow here and I'm gonna reuse it, and I'm gonna stick to this little potential scenario where we could, like I said, drift lower, test the 21-day EMA, and if it holds, a nice rebound here could be possible. However, if the price starts falling below the 15,215 territory, somewhere around here, the level that I mentioned earlier, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the downside, and we could potentially then target that 14,845 level or 14,804 zone right here. Now jumping into Dow Jones Industrial Average, and here you can see that yesterday we closed fractionally in the red. However, still above that 21-day EMA. So in a way, there is a lot of indication here, or I would say a lot, but there is some indication here. Some indication here that yeah, we could see a further move higher, and basically at the moment I would say that if you want to aim for the upside, well, keep your eyes on Friday's high, which is around that 34,454 territory right here. If we climb above it, then there could be a chance for a further move north here, maybe even towards the all-time high again. But on the downside, if we see the index dropping and staying below the 21-day EMA, then yes, there could be a possibility for a drift further south here, for a larger correction to the downside towards this upside support line taken from the low, the 30th of October. I can see in the chat room here Evo saying always reuse. I mean, I mean, that's, yes, of course, that's one of the phrases that I use all the time. So always reuse, always, yeah. So yeah, it refers to everything, almost everything. But yeah, thank you on that. Coming back to the charts, S&P 500. Yes, for now. Also, similar situation. We are still above the 21-day EMA. Even looking at the cash index, we're currently trading at around 4,165, 66 territory. So basically, where we have closed, almost where we have closed yesterday. But if you, like I said, if you want to aim for some higher levels here, then probably keep an eye also on the Friday's high near the 4,183 territory. If that gets cleared, then yes, higher levels could be met, and we could see the index pushing further south towards the all-time high, the current all-time high. Let me just adjust this arrow. There we go. Not a pretty straightforward one, but there we go. So the current all-time high sits around the 4,238 zone, yeah, that could be our next target. But as I said, for that we would need to see a pop above the 4,183 territory right here, and this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. DXY, the dollar index. So let's see what's happening, and boom, there we go. Beautiful move. This morning we were still hanging around here, and I said that if we get that drop below the 89.92 territory, then yes, we could consider a bit of a move lower here towards the next target, which is the lowest point of February, near the 89.68. So that's a good result here. If that gets cleared, of course, then yes, further declines are possible, because my main target for now is this 89.23 territory, which is not only marked by near the lowest point of January, or in other words, the lowest point of this year, but also marked by the let me just zoom in here a little bit, and marked by the lowest point of April of 2018. So yeah, that's the kind of situations. To be honest, at the moment it's pretty straightforward. We had that drop, as you can see. While we speak, we are approaching now this level, so well, most likely we will get test of it. So that this lowest point of February, if that, like I said, gets cleared, then my next target is the 89.23 territory, marked by near the lowest point of this year and the lowest point of April. Now I forgot already about it. April 2018. There we go. So WTI oil here. So we have a nice push higher today. We are climbing once again above this barrier. Let me just adjust this very quickly. So we're climbing again above this 66.40 territory. And at the moment, I would say, again, yes, everything's looking quite positive. However, let's not end up having a false breakout again, like we had here, for example, on the 5th of May and the 12th of May. And yeah, if it does the same thing, I mean, that's no good for us, and we could see this one drifting back down towards the lower side of the rising channel pattern. But at the moment, I mean, everything's looking quite positive still, so we are still trading above this hurdle, above the 66.40 zone. So let's see if we can stay above it. If we can, then my next target is, and this is where I'm going to adjust my arrow here a little bit. My next target, come on. There we go. So let's do this very quickly like this. So yep, my next target is the current highest point of 2021, and that's roughly around the 67.94 zone, or if you want to round it up here a little bit, then 68 level. So keep that in mind. Okay, so Ripple ripping to the upside, and yeah, at the moment we are keeping an eye on the upper side of this triangle pattern. So I talked about this previously, guys, with you, and let's see if we can stay above this area, because yes, we did have initially a nice good pop above this downside line. We had a pop above the 1.6640 level here. but somehow the bulls are kind of struggling to maintain this, well, to maintain their gains right now. But don't get me wrong, the day is not finished yet, so we could see some more positivity kicking in during the US session. So in general, guys, the moment I would say yes, everything's leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but let's see where this daily candle is going to end up being today in relation to this downside line. Litecoin also looking quite positive. However, as you can see, after kind of it climbed back above this 289.60 zone, it kind of drifted higher but found resistance near this 21-day EMA. So for now, I would say that you need to be very careful here because it's a bit of a tricky one. I mean, if this 21-day EMA starts, let's say, providing or continuing to provide resistance, good resistance, another slide here could be possible, and we could end up testing this upside line taken from the low of the 25th of March, which also coincides, somehow perfectly coincides with the 100-day EMA. So this becomes a very attractive area to reach. So long story short, for now, if we will first of all get rid of this hurdle, and for the upside, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep an eye on the 339.10 territory right here, marked by the high of the 14th of May. So if we climb above the 21-day EMA, I would actually prefer this crypto to push through this 339.10 zone in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside, because again, depending also where we're going to be, because we have this also this tentative downside line. So in other words, a nice good break above this barrier could also push the rate above this downside line. So let's keep an eye on this one. For the downside, as I said, yes, if the 21-day EMA continues to provide resistance or this downside line, then yes, we could end up testing this upside support line taken from the low, the 25th of March. Jumping into a few pairs, AUD/USD. So for now, guys, yes, it is pushing higher. It remains above the 21-day EMA, and today managed to remain above the 21-day EMA, and is now coming close to this target of mine, the 0.7818. And I said to you previously that in order for me to, let's say, get a little bit more excited with the upside, I would like to see a push above this barrier, and then of course push above the 0.7849 zones. Now, the reason why I'm kind of being very careful here with this one is just because I don't want this to end up being a left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So with the possible neckline being here. So that's what, like I said, that's what I don't want to end up having. However, again, the market doesn't always do what we want it to do, so for now we can just basically monitor it, and that's why I'm going to be very careful here for now. If it climbs above this 0.7818, then yes, we could go for some higher levels, but if it also continues to push above the 0.7849 zone, then yes, of course, more buyers could join in. But again, let's not exclude also the option of seeing maybe a possible head and shoulders pattern here as well. But on that one, probably keep that as your secondary option, because at the moment, I mean, we're still above the 21-day EMA. Don't start kind of, let's say, entering shorts here in order to capture, let's say, a possible drop here. So we need some confirmation, and initially, I mean, the first confirmation could come maybe. Well, not a confirmation, not the first confirmation, but the first kind of indication, there we go, that there could be a possible head and shoulders pattern on drop below the 21-day EMA, below the 0.7756 territory, somewhere around here. And then we'll take it from there, of course. USD/JPY, very quickly on this one, continues to slide. Of course, DXY is drifting lower. So, yeah, and everything is kind of in line here. Now, I talked about this pair yesterday, and basically said to you, keep your eyes on this 0.8986 territory. And, yep, we managed to break it to the downside. And, yep, now let's see if the daily candle remains below this area. If it does, then my next target is the 0.8934 mark right here, which is the low of the 19th of February. As you can see, my arrow kind of goes further beyond that because I do like this area right here. And let me just as Eva said, reuse one of the lines here and take it, put it right here, and mark the lowest point of February, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the lowest point of February. Yep, that is correct. So the 0.8872 zone, that could be our next target. But of course, initially we will target the 0.8934, and then we'll take it from there. GBP JPY, so this one's kind of, I would say, a little bit boring. I mean, at the moment it's just one-way traffic here. However, I will redraw this upside line for now. I'll reuse the line. I mean, always reuse, guys. Yeah, so at the moment we are trading above this upside line taken from the low of the 23rd of April. And yeah, for now everything's pushing higher. I mean, as long as I would say the rate continues to trade above this 153.42 zone marked by the highest point of April, that's where it could become very interesting for, could remain very interesting for more buyers. And our next target, and for this we have to kind of scroll back here into history. Our next target could be this the 156.61 zone marked by the highest point of February of 2018. Of course, we have another potential area here of resistance before kind of hitting that, potentially hitting that level, and that's roughly around here, the high of the 25th of January, or in other words, the highest point of January of 2018, and that level is around the 156.09 zone. And of course, then if we do reach that area, then we'll take it from there. And finally, EURUSD. So pushing nicely to the upside, breaking the area here. This is what I talked about yesterday and today as well, this morning, because we were kind of sitting near this area. And yep, now we are approaching my next target, the 1.2243 zone right here. Let's see if we can reach that today. If not, we might reach it tomorrow, but only if we continue to trade above the 1.2190 zone right here. If we stay above it, then yes, like I said, I'll continue targeting the upside. For now, everything's, like I said, looking quite bullish. Everything looks quite interesting here for the bulls. So again, let's go step by step on this one. Let's keep an eye, of course, that we can always have a reversal here at some point. But at the moment, guys, the trend is to the upside. We just got a breakout, so let's see if we can reach some of these higher levels. For now, my aim is the 1.2243. I know that we're very close to it, but nevertheless, that's what I'm going to aim for now. And then I'll pick up on this one tomorrow. So guys, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for your views, your likes, your comments, guys. I really appreciate that. So thank you very much. If you want to catch me later on, I mean, by later on, I mean tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. Just a quick reminder that actually we won't have any Traders Espresso nor tea time on Thursday and Friday, but I'll mention that tomorrow as well, just to kind of quickly remind you. But yeah, so yeah, join me tomorrow morning, guys, for my espresso at 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.